dear students who are in Mr. Whitaker's Algebra 1 or 2 class. Hi, my name is Bernie So, and I'll be teaching you guys to factorize quadratic equations today. So for step 1, we're gonna factor this expression. So there's actually two methods we could use, which is method A and B. Method A is known as the FOIL method. You can see as it's broken up into two pieces. Personally, I enjoy method B because it's much more easier, and even though we don't learn it in school, I'm just going to teach you how to do it. So, for the FOIL method, we got to break up the expression into two pieces. So as you can see here, since there's 2x squared, we got to get x here and here to get 2x squared, because you have to multiply it over. So when you multiply it out, you get x squared, because x times x equals 2x squared. So now since we have an plus and minus sign here, we'll need a plus sign and a minus sign for both of the pieces that we're using. There's a few numbers that we could use to factor this equation, which are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. Since 3 and 4 are just one digit apart, and since we need to get 1, since it's only just an x, so we'll just use 3 and 4 just an example to see if we can get 12. Okay, so if you multiply it out, you get x squared minus 3x plus 4x minus 12. So when you actually break it out and add these two together, you'll get a positive x. If you actually use minus 3 and plus 4, you'll get a positive x, and we don't want a negative x, and we don't really want a negative x, we want a positive x. So yeah. The next method I'm going to use is the crossover multiply method. I personally enjoy this method because it's easier and faster for me, but for those who enjoy the FOIL method, you could use that too. So I'm just going to teach you step by step how to do this one. This is the cross multiply method. Okay, so first you just draw two lines separating each corner, so like that. And then you start off, since the expression is x squared plus x minus 12, you gotta get 2x squared. So x times x is x squared, because this section of the box is where you multiply. So 3 and 4. You need to get 12 since you got it here. Since you need a negative 12, one of the numbers here should be negative. So for example, if I put positive 3 and negative 4, I'll get a negative 12 here. So you cross multiply it over, and you'll get a positive 3x and a negative 4x. If you add this up, you'll get a negative 1x, which is not, for this case, it's not the right answer because the expression says a positive x. So we'll try another one, which is the same way, x times x, x squared, but this time we'll use negative 3 and we'll use positive 4. So cross multiply it over, you get negative 3x, positive 4x, and then you get 12 and positive 1x. So there you go. So x minus 3 and x plus 4. Ta-da! And that's your answer. X is equals to negative 3, or x is equals to positive 4. So the next step, we'll be multiplying with the number in front of the x squared. So for an example, I'll give an equation such as 2x squared plus 4x plus 2. So we're going to use the FOIL method first. And it goes like this. So we'll break it up into two pieces, which is, parentheses, since it's 2x, so it'll be 2x here, there'll be an x here, and since it's both positive, we're going to get a positive sign for both sides. So 2x, so 2 2 times factors of 2 are, well, it's the only one, which is 2 and 1. So we can put either way, we can put 2 here and 1 here. So when you multiply it over, 2 times 2 is 2x plus 2x, and then the next one plus 2x plus 2. So if you add it up and you sum it up, so it'll be 2x squared plus 4x plus 2. So we got our answer. So the answer should be 2x squared to 2x plus 2 and x plus 1. So for the cross multiply method, you can, for the 2x squared plus 4 plus 4x plus 2, you draw the box, what we said before, and it will be 2x x, which gives you 2x squared, and 2 times 1 equals to 2. So if you cross it multiply over, it should be 2x times 2x equals to 4x, which proves the theory. Yay! What we're going to do is the quadratic formula. It's sort of similar to the factoring one, but this time instead of factorization, we're going to use a formula to factor it. So for an example, like 2x squared minus x minus 7. So instead of factorizing it, you don't. You will use the quadratic formula by saying like ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So we'll use the quadratic formula, which is x equals to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So we'll just use this as a, this as b, and this as c. Actually, once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty easy. You just plug the numbers in. So for this equation, 2x squared minus x plus minus negative 7, plug it in, it will be equals to, since this is b, it's a negative 1, so since negative times negative equals to a positive, we'll get 1 squared minus 4 times 2 and times 7, because a and b is here. So over 2 times 2. So we're just going to go factor it, which is negative 1 squared is 1 minus 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 7 is what? 56. Yes, 56. So we'll get 1 minus 56 over 4. So x equals to 1. We'll get a negative 55. Okay, here's the thing. Since this square root is a negative, the problem should be no solution. Because we can't have a square root which is a negative, because that won't have an answer to it. So we'll start over with a new equation. We're going to start off with a new formula for the quadratic formula, because the old formula we had was no solution. So 2x squared plus x minus 7. Hopefully this equation will most probably get us a answer. So we'll use the quadratic formula, which is x negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So we'll use this as a, and b, and c. So negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 squared minus 4a, which is 2, and negative 7 over 2. So when we get that in total, we'll get, since the square root of 1 is 1, negative 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 7 is 56, so it's positive 56 over 4. So x equals to negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 57 over 4. So I'm guessing that we have to simplify this square root. So the method I normally use is something like this without a calculator. 57. You use the smallest number which is possible to divide 57. So 57 divided by 3 is 19. 19 divided by... Okay, so the answer should be -1 plus or minus 3 square root 19 over 4. Since we can't simplify anymore since all of these numbers does not fit over 4, we'll just leave the answer like that. So the answer would be none, -1 plus or minus 3 square root of 19 over 4.